Hello everyone, Radswin Law here, another episode of Learning Your Rights. Today we're looking at the Second Amendment, which reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." Last week we looked at how the war for independence against Britain actually started, and why the Founding Fathers wrote down the Second Amendment. If you haven't seen that video, please go back and watch it on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. This week, we're looking at the first four words of the Second Amendment, which read, "A well-regulated militia." We're answering the question, what is a militia? So stay tuned and stay informed. The short answer for the purpose of a militia is defense from attack, enforcement of the laws, and suppression of rebellions. Who makes up the militia? Well, the short answer is we, the people. But very generally, the idea of a militia comes from the king and queen days in England. Before firearms were commonly owned, every household was required to own a longbow and arrows. They were also required to practice shooting their bows once a week. This was so the people could form a defense of the king and queen or the land in case of an attack from an invading force. This was also cost-effective in the sense that royalty didn't have to pay for housing or food for their troops, quote-unquote. They would call upon the citizens to defend the land or the castle. If you jump over the Atlantic Ocean, you can see a similar concept in play here in America. In the colonies, the need for defense led to armament statutes comparable to those of England. In 1623, Virginia forbid its colonists to travel unless they were well armed. In 1631, it required colonists to engage in target practice on Sunday and to bring their firearms to church. In 1658, it required every household to have a functioning firearm. And in 1673, its laws provided that a citizen who claimed he was too poor to purchase a firearm would have one purchased for him by the government. Before and after the War for Independence from Britain, militias were used as local law enforcement. They would provide security in their towns and villages and often prosecute criminals who took advantage of the people living in the town. The militia would also protect against Native American raids. During the Revolutionary War against Britain, the militia were the common people who made up a large portion of the fighting force to tell Britain, "Get lost and go home." There was only a small regular army that was eventually organized to fight the British, so the militia were often called upon to reinforce the regular army. After the Revolutionary War, the colonial army that was built up to fight against the British was downsized so that the government could not use it against the people in the new nation. During the Civil War, the militia was called upon again to reinforce the Northern Army to suppress the Southern states' rebellion against the government. But who are the militia? The law describes the militia to consist of any able-bodied male between the ages of 17 and 45 years old. However, it also creates two classifications, the organized militia and the unorganized militia. The organized militia consists of both male and females in the National and Naval Guard. The unorganized militia would consist of, well, the citizens of the United States of America. That's me and that's you. If you have questions about purchasing a firearm, selling a firearm, or you have an estate where a firearm needs to be transferred, firearms training, if you have a CPL that needs to be renewed or you'd like to get your CPL, please give Radswin Law a call, 248-702-5282, or you can message us through Facebook or through our website, radswinlaw.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Everyone stay safe.